What's up, guys? It's Team Kuribrohs here with, is it Julian?
Yes, it is, yeah.
And what did you do here this weekend?
I played Sky Striker, Pure.
Nice. And you came top 64, was it?
I came top 64, yeah.
You came nationals, right? Okay, cool. Sure.
Yeah. I came 42nd after Swiss X2-1.
Sure. And what did you lose in top 64?
In top 64, I lost to my own misplay, but the actual deck I lost to was Sky Striker Trickstar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's cool. Do you want to get into the list then?
Yeah, we'll start. First off, play one Diabolus.
Okay.
I don't play any Foolish Burial, Dragon Shrines, or Dragon Ravines for this. It's just the Diabolus. If I don't see it, it's fine. I only really want to see it in one matchup particularly. Against Trickstar, it helps the most. And with Trickstar, you can usually make them use a reincarnation to make you draw into it anyway.
Okay.
Played 3 Ash today and 2 draw. The reason I did this ratio is because with 5 hand traps, you have a 50% chance of opening one. And that was a decent number for me. So I see some people just run the 3 Ash, and see some people not running draw. I think that's. I mean, Ash is amazing this format, right? It's complete. It's like a blowout if you can Ash Candinas and win off that. But draw also, if you have a hand, or if you don't have a hand. It generally fixes things. You know, you get a turn to play. You don't get OTK'd. You can keep going.
Of course, yeah. And you didn't want to play more because you didn't want to like clog with them, I suppose.
You don't want to. Yeah, the deck has enough consistency issues itself. Anyway.
Fair enough. That's fair. Very nice.
I run 3 Ray.
Yeah, this is fairly staple.
Fairly staple.
Yeah.
Amazing card. One of your 10 play starter cards in the deck.
Of course. Just getting
3 engage.
Yeah.
You don't. Right, for this, you don't really want to be using them too much. You only want to be using them when you have maximum, you're using them for maximum efficiency, right? But obviously you have to run 3. It's one of the best cards in the deck, but that's just a tip. Like, so many times I see people use this and not get the draw, or use this to get the draw by dumping spells. Just be careful when you use this card.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Sometimes you want to use this as the 3rd spell for another card in the deck, and sometimes you want to use the draw. Try and analyze the situation for that.
Sure.
3 Widow Anchor. Drawing 2 is cloggy, but 3 is really good. It's one of the best cards in the deck. Being able to steal monsters and link with them is like so aggressive and powerful. It's super insane at breaking boards too.
Sure, of course, yeah.
3 Hornet Drones. This can also get you into more plays. So this is another 3 of your starter cards. 3 Foolish Goods and Malphose Fusion. Just to get 2 spells in the grave instantly, start breaking boards and getting free advantage.
Of course, yeah. Did you find yourself standing like engage a lot to get your engine started with if you opened up like a Foolish Goods and Array sometimes?
Well, yeah. When I open a Foolish Goods and Array, you can obviously use it as like a proxy like Hayate.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, Goods is genuinely amazing. Like I was only running it at 2, then I realised I want it in every hand. Like it's either an upstart, which is extremely relevant in this deck because sometimes you don't open any of the 10 play starter cards, and that's generally how you lose. But if you open a Foolish Goods and you have a draw 1 with 10 cards left in your, you're very likely to draw 1. Draw 1 of those play starter cards and just get rolling.
Sure, that's fair.
So 3 Call by the Grave, amazing in the mirror, amazing against Trickstar, amazing against hand traps, and make sure you don't get bodied whenever you go for a Shizuku.
That's fine.
2 Field Spell and a Terraforming.
Okay.
Not 3 Field Spell because Terraforming is better than the Field Spell. Terraforming is a free spell to get you into this. Plus, if you already have this and Terraforming, you can use this as like fodder.
Of course, yeah. Was there ever any consideration of playing 2 Terraforming or messing with the ratios in any way?
I think if this deck ever got hit, then you definitely want to start upping the Field Spell because its ability to unbrick you, not only through the effect to, like the duality effect to excavate 3, but the effect to when it's to send it and then summon Array, that also is a really good way of unbricking you, and it's also a really good way to play around Droll.
Sure.
So if this deck ever got hit, I'd probably up the field spells and play some back row destruction in the main, because I don't main any.
That makes sense.
2 multi-roll. Originally I was only playing the 1. You only do need the 1, and I side 1 out a lot.
Sure.
But you know, it's basically your secondary win condition. This creates so much advantage from each end phase, setting cards, rewarding you for the cards you've used, rewarding you for the quick play spells you use in their turn, and it's also good for using. It's also good for maximizing Shizuku's effectiveness, because obviously you can do the Widow Anchor search and then activate it and then set it.
There wasn't ever any time you wanted to play 3, was it a bit foggy?
There was definitely no reason to ever play 3 multi-roll. The only reason you would ever play 3 multi-roll, maybe, is because if you're playing absurd amounts of the field spell to send it. It's really good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really good, but not many people are running Ogre this format, so you don't really need to worry about multi-roll getting hit by Ogre that much. And it's well, at least the way it was ruled here. Your opponent needs to see what you're setting, but not where. So that's also really good.
Of course.
But still, 3 is. I mean, opening 2 by just hard opening 2 is a brick anyway.
Yeah.
And as I said, you only have 10 play starters, and that is like super crucial. Like, you need to open one of these 10s, or you're just not gonna play, and you're gonna stop burning all your cards to just stay alive.
That makes sense. Cool.
2 Desires. The reason I run 2 Desires is I was originally only running the 1, and basically relying on seeing it in the grind game, because I hate opening this card, because this deck runs so many one-offs that are essential to winning. But 2 means that I see it a little bit quicker. Sometimes I do open it, and it kind of sucks, but obviously Desires is Desires. It nets you 2 cards, it gets you started, and again, if you don't open any 10 of your 10 starter cards, being 3 Engage, 3 Hornet Drone, 3 Ray, and 1 Rotor, if you don't open any of these will probably get you into something here. Either that or banish them. Like, one or the other. I mean, you're going to lose that game anyway. If
Exactly,
you
yeah, that's the idea.
Upstart, Afterburners, Rotor, Jamming Waves, Earthly Space. These are like not your main one-offs, because obviously there's like the Terraforming and the Metal Phase Fusion, but these are these specifically are your really important one-offs that you don't want Desires to touch. If I have 2 of these already in rotation, or at least this is the most important to have in rotation.
Of course.
I'll activate Desires with no worry. Generally, you don't need all 3 of these to win the game. You only maybe need 2. Resolving this can sometimes be a win condition as well, though.
Of course. Was there ever any consideration playing maybe like either 2 Jamming or 2 Afterburner with the Desires?
I was considering playing 2 Afterburners.
Yeah.
Jamming Waves is a bit crap.
That's fair enough.
But Afterburners, it forces out Scapegoats from Trickstars, and it also deals with a lot of problems that you generally have difficulties dealing with. But the only reason I didn't is because anything I can Afterburners, I can probably Widow Anchor, and anything I can Widow Anchor, I can link with for maximum efficiency.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
And I ran 3 Mind Crush. I thought that this card would be a complete blowout, but the only issue, I mean, it was good, but it didn't put in as much work as I thought. I would definitely either cut this or change this for something else. I didn't particularly like it too much. It won me a few games, but at best it was a win more kind of situation card. Okay. I never really used it to just blow my opponent out. I always used it to kind of progress, and it was kind of it was good for hitting engagers, but at the same time, unless it's the mirror, they don't really care about that bit of their engine too much. And if it is the mirror, you can generally win by just out-resourcing them anyway.
Sure. Was there any ideas what you would change it for?
I'd probably change it for either Shared Ride. I've been considering Scapegoats, except that does clash with Ray's floating. There's also It's just trying to find a blowout card. So Strike and Judgment were what they were originally, and then I changed it to Shared Ride, and then Mind Crush. I just need like something to have that. If I'm grinding, it just wins the game.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
That's right.
It's built for first because 50% of the time you get first, and 50% of the time you also open a hand trap. So, you know, it's not perfect logic, but
of course, yeah. Hopefully you'll get the most of it.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it worked out today. Whenever I needed to open a hand trap, I either opened a hand trap or opened a hand that can deal with the board and play through it. Sure. Again, I only lost in top 16. The reason I lost in top 16 is I forgot that I had Darkest Diabolus in my graveyard, so I didn't summon it, and that was game. If I had just summoned it and attacked for game, it's literally as simple as that. And I didn't do that because I'm bad at it. Extra or side first?
Extra.
Extra. All right. So for my extra.
Oh yeah. 3 of each. Yeah, that makes sense.
3 of each. They're really good, and you stop burning through them quite quickly. But I can't. Honestly, I've been asked so many times which one's better, and the obvious answer is Kagari, just because it's used as an engine, and this is the better one in the engine. But Shizuku just saves you. Like, it's so good to drones and then into engage. It guarantees you that hand where during the end phase you search it, and you get that guaranteed hand of like, if you don't OTK me, I've just straight up won.
It kind of guarantees that you're inevitably going to be able to play the game no matter how bad of a brick you have.
Floating into it as well is insane. Like if you can float into it in their end phase and get the perfect card for the situation, the board you're literally looking at. It's insane. It's so good.
That's right.
Link Spider card came up a lot. Mermaid didn't come up at all. Didn't play any. Well, you see, against Goki, what I tend to like to do is like take their stuff anyway. Obviously, you can't do that if they have a goblin, but if they have a goblin, they probably don't have a griffin. So they're always missing something you can exploit.
Of course.
But in testing, this came up loads, and it was really, really helpful just to get rid of that Ibli. But people tend not to give you Iblies anymore because of this. So yeah, it's kind of Space Insulator, amazing card with an amazing effect.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Combos with another card in the extra.
Sure.
Phoenix, outs, anti-spell, outs, Imperial Order, all the floodgates, all the nasty cards that you don't want to deal with.
Was there ever a time where you had to Phoenix into Mermaid to have an arrow pointing down for something?
No. I've always Phoenixed and then used. I have a lot more links than just this, and I never really need to Phoenix into Mermaid. It's a possibility, but I guess it does clear the main monster zone, so that could be good. And I mean, this does apply a debuff.
That's fair.
I mean, you shouldn't be too worried about having monsters in your main monster zone. There's always ways to clear it. There's always linking, and there's always
of course.
your spells.
Yeah, that's fair.
Your continuous one as well. And then for the big boys of the deck, we have one unicorn. Kind of same logic as the Phoenix, being able to clear floodgates, but the good thing about this is it can be any 3 names, so you can use tokens as well. So basically, this is your go-to guy if you've taken a bunch of stuff that doesn't really make anything properly. So you take a bunch of stuff and you want to link into it, and this is probably like one of the go-to guys to link into if it doesn't really get you anything to go into something else. It always just nets you free advantage. It's really good.
That's right.
Ningirsu, being able to send your field spell and send a card and hit for 4k damage.
Yeah.
It's really strong. Also out a lot of boards to just send stuff, and then
It's really good against Goki if they do the Nightmare board.
yeah, if they do the Nightmare board where it can't be targeted, they can't defend against this. The only thing they can do against this is have a Griffin. And again, as I said, if they have a Griffin, they probably don't have a Goblin. And that means they're probably just weak to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Trisbana. Combos with Space Insulator.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
that's basically it. Yeah.
Duster. I mean, it's Heavy Storm, right? And
yeah,
like
also really good for time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If need be.
I've been able to burn people cheekily with this, and only issue you when you make this, you generally sit on it because you can't do anything at this point because anything you summon to will be banished.
Yeah.
So you have to be confident that this is going to be like your game-winning play.
Sure.
And then for Link Force, I ran Topologic, came up all the time, amazing card, genuinely like the pseudo boss monster of this deck if it wasn't Diabolos. Borrowload came up once. It goes really good against Rogue, Altergeist, and Trickstar, but most of the time this is just easier to make.
Sure.
And there's a lot, there's a lot more ways to make this in duplace.
Yeah.
For example, I did this like countless times. Making Ningirsu, sending my field spell, summoning my Ray, hitting for 4k damage, linking them both into Topologic, then using multi-roll to set a drones. Because this and drones is just a repeated cycle of like...
At that point you just win the game.
Yeah, especially have multi-roll as well to set more drones or engagers or whatever you need.
Yeah, for sure.
For side deck, I ran my third draw if I went second or really needed it against certain matchups.
Sure.
Shark Cannon, I don't main it because I didn't think it was good enough to main, but it definitely came up when I was siding. This was the card that won my match against ABC. Banishing their pieces, adding it back, and then reviving their ABC to use their ABC Dragon Busters effect to start banishing their pieces as well.
God.
Like, it's super good, but obviously not good in most situations. I only side it.
That's fair.
3 Shared Ride. If I know I'm going first, the combination of Shared Ride and Mind Crush in the main, it's insane. It's really good. This conflicts with this a lot.
But if you see one of
the other, yeah, you just use one of them.
Yeah.
Another thing I forgot to mention is another reason why people don't really run Droll, but I do, is this can turn off your Shizuku if you wanted to flow into it.
Sure.
But at that point, just flow into Kagari. It's not the best play, but
yeah.
Or flow into Shizuku and not add if you really want Kagari in your next turn in rotations. I ran for triple Twin Twister and double MST.
Okay.
Twin Twisters is really good going first, and MST's really... well, the thing is, I'm generally destroying light stages, and I don't really want to be pitching one to destroy one, right?
Yeah, you want a 1-for-1 trade.
I don't want a 1-for-1 trade. Twin Twisters is super good against back row decks anyway, though. Like, if I'm going second, I for sure put this in, because they've already established their stuff.
Of course.
Also, being able to do all the shenanigans with the discard one, so you instantly have 2 spells.
Yeah, it's good further getting your engine online.
Yeah. And forcing reincarnations. This card has won me so many Sky Striker Trickstar games because I activate the reincarnation when I want them to, and basically use it as a draw engine for me.
Yeah. And the MSC is like combo well, I suppose, because of
the combo. Yeah, they also pop. The field spell, which unbricks you.
Yeah, of course.
Or just makes you further ahead. Evenly. I mean, for sure, this the blowout card I was looking for. This was it, going second. But that's the only issue. My deck was... I'm a lot more confident building for first.
Of course.
So this is here for if I want a blowout card going second, you take out the blowout card going first and just swap them out.
That makes sense.
And then my last 2 cards are Typhoons. I love this card. Okay. You can set it and use it as basically 4 MSTs. And outlight stages like that, and then also pendulums are a big thing, don't sleep on that.
Oh, okay, fair enough, yeah.
Also True Draco are scary.
So it's just for the sort of rogue matchups as well, yeah.
Kind of rogue matchups, but I'm actually extremely scared of pendulum. It is kind of crazy, this format, how it's not picked up a little bit more.
No, that's fair. Like, I think it's just it might just be picking up like recently. We'll see how it goes at Euros.
I mean, definitely True Draco are a thing to worry about as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to Owen Bohr, infinite Trickstar testing. Had so many games with Trickstar against him, and shout out to everyone in Leicester, the Leicester lot, and shout out to my boy Jam from Character 3, though he doesn't need it. And shout out to my girlfriend for OTKing me with Mermels until I learned to play properly.
Very nice. Okay, thank you very much. Here, it's Team Kuribrohs here at UK National Champion. Signing out.